from nothing at all. The chance just appeared in a flash, and the Jamaicans in for his second goal for Bengaluru. Bengaluru lead by a goal to nil with goal number 240 of this season, and it's a glory moment for Deshaun Brown.
This is exactly what I was talking about, John. They've allowed Kerala to push on, push numbers forward, so they're playing a much higher line than you need to play against the likes. And all it's taken is one pass, a great run from Deshaun Brown, and you're not catching him in this position. And I think the keeper's made an absolute howler of the air. You've come and just exposed your entire goal. If you're going to come, you've got to come and win the ball. He's done nothing apart from just open up the goal for. And how many times have we seen this season? The Kerala Blasters, their goalkeepers just gifting the first goal of the match to the opposition.
I'm going to give some credit to Brown here, because the couple of matches we've seen, he looked a little bit clumsy, a bit ungainly at times, but scoring a hat-trick in midweek, no matter the opposition, I think has lifted his confidence. His first touch was slightly heavy there, but the goalkeeper's charge helped him out.
Absolutely. I mean, credit where credit's due. It's a great run, and to control that ball at full pace, go around the goalkeeper and slot it home. I was fortunate to watch that game against Para in the AFC Cup, and I think what was impressive with Deshaun.
Nazari, save made by Gurpee on the line, thumping header, Messi Bouli. Could have been 1-1 within a minute of Bengaluru having taken the lead.
Now we've got a game on our hands. This is not what Bengaluru want to be doing, inviting too many of these kind of crosses, because this big man is a handful for any defender, even the likes of Saran. Fortunately for Bengaluru, that was straight at Gurpreet.
Well, I think you're right. We have got a game on our hands, and a good game, a very good game. As I said, the goal came in a flash from nothing, and then within a minute there could have been an equaliser. It was a good header, and it fortunate for the goalkeeper Gurpreet. He didn't have a lot to do because it was directly at him. A warning though. Kerala are still alive in this contest, are very much alive, obviously, with only 18 minutes played, and what a good 18 minutes it's been, and that's an unfortunate stumble back there. It allows the opportunity of a run-in on Ruatara. Ruatara just slipping at the crucial moment.
Yeah, Ruatara just a little bit unlucky, slowly working his way back to starting and playing regularly for... Here's another look at that. Good cross from Halicharan onto his favourite left foot, and I think just around letting Messi Bouli get the wrong side of him.
It's a tremendous header, actually. When I grew up watching centre forwards play like that, you don't get too many of those around nowadays, but he used his full height and he absolutely thumped it in with the forehead, didn't he? Very lively opening to the game here. And we have seen some terrific games lately. We've seen a lot of goals as well. Well, there's been a couple of goalless ones, but overall, you're going to get that throughout the course of a season. But the entertainment value in the Hero Indian Super League in Season 6 has been excellent, as that tally of goals tells you.
It's a little bit late from Messi Bouli on Saran, and I'm sure with all the experience that Albert Saran has, he's going to milk this and take as long as possible. Now these are going to hurt a little bit. You catch the underside of his boots, but here's another look at that. The young lad Suresh Rangjam with the assist. It looks like a great first touch past the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper's in such a bad position. I mean, if the goalkeeper's in a better position, maybe he can react to that touch, but credit to this young man. I mean, that's a fantastic ball. Look at the spin on the ball. It's just held up short from the goalkeeper, and he still had a lot to do, Deshaun Brown, to take that first touch at full pace and then have the composure to just slot it home.
It's a leading contender for pass of the match already.
Well, he'll be winning something tonight, that's for sure, if not the emerging player.
There's going to be a yellow card here. And conversation going on between Senor Quadrat, the fourth official, who tonight is Mr. Tejas Visvasarel Nagvenka, and Messi is booked. picked up only 7 points out of 24, having conceded first in matches, which is not an impressive statistic that he will enjoy.
No, he's been mentioned a couple of times where the goalkeepers have cost him in games, and I think once again, I'm sure Elko will be saying now that his goalkeepers let him down where they've been dominating in terms of territorially, in terms of possession in the game up to that point. But that is part and parcel of the game. It's, as a coach, you have to deal with all facets of it. You're defending, your set pieces, you're attacking, and you're goalkeeping. And question marks can be asked about their recruitment in terms of their goalkeepers this year, and as well as how they've had a pre-season with their goalkeepers. They had a goalkeeper camp early on with their goalkeepers, and it is an area of weakness and something they definitely need to address going into next season.
Well, Kerala have won only 3 games all season, and only 2 of those at home. So look at what happens here. Obechi weaves it onto the right foot for a tepid effort. Both sides have failed against ATK this year. ATK have beaten both of these 2 teams.
Oh, they've shared the spoils, I guess. I think Kerala beat ATK in the first game here, and Bengaluru have that chance in their last game, which should be an absolute cracker on the 22nd when they face ATK.
Yeah, the only wins were twice against ATK and once against Hyderabad for Kerala. And the only defeats for Bengaluru have been twice against Mumbai and once against ATK, so they both have their bogey sides. Plenty of time to bring it clear here. First of all for Sido, who's got a couple of yellow cards. 3 or 4 players out there tonight with 3 yellow cards against their name, and 1 more will mean that they'll miss the next match. We keep informing you of the way the table is changing minute by minute, and of course it's just changed again with that Bengaluru goal in terms of their goal difference, which is now up to 11, and they're still 1 point behind ATK, even if they do win this evening. And as for Kerala, well, their goal difference has now gone to -5, 3 points behind Jamshedpur. There's going to be a change already for Kerala, and I believe Zuvalun will be coming on, the Dutchman.
It looks like Sido must have picked up a knock.
Yeah, Sido's going off.
But it just seems a little bizarre for me, John. If Johnny Zuvalun is 100% fit and capable of playing, one would expect him to start ahead of Droborov, given Johnny Zuvalun's experience and capabilities, but he does have that versatility that he can play in centre midfield as a defensive midfielder, so maybe he will slot in alongside Mustafa Ngin.
I'm sure there was much debate beforehand. There has to be, of course, with the rule that only 5 foreigners are allowed on the pitch at one time. There have to be 6 Indian players out there. Sometimes they choose to start with only 4 foreign players. It's not a rule, you don't have to start with all 5.
True, we saw David James last year opt very rarely to start with his full quota of foreign players at Kerala Blasters.
Well, Zuvalun straight into the action. Man wearing number 51. Kerala have had a bit more of the ball.
I think this looks a little bit of a tactical change. I think Kerala have gone to match Bengaluru in terms of they've gone with a back 3 now with Droborov slotting in on the left.
All about strategy now. Nazari. And Droborov. And now Zuvalun, so we've got an all-foreign combination at the back.
So it looks like a 5-3-2 for Kerala, or a 3-5-2, however you want to call it, versus a 5-4-1 of Bengaluru.
That's a nice little ball in here. Off, and Ying's first touch wasn't good, but he's had the presence of mind to win it back. Meshibuli on the angle over the corner. But he did well to get a stab at that one, because I thought the chance had gone away from him. In fact, persistence and tenacity paid off totally. Look at Nying's first touch there is a poor one. He still gets the cross in, and then Messi Bouli still gets the shot away as well, after Patalu had threatened to deny him.
I think just a little couple of ricochets falling in their favour. Suresh Wanjam just getting ahead of Nying, but not managing to hold him up and clear the ball. And although Eric got his toe to it, Messi Bouli is just one of those awkward characters, just very difficult to handle inside the box, and somehow manages to get him, wriggle his way through and get shots off on target.
The team are behind, but I think crowd here are quite enjoying the Kerala Blasters performance. Alex Ramnazari can't get through on this occasion though. Finished the last season on loan at Chennai, didn't he? But he's back with Kerala now. I think Chennai did have the option to keep Nazari, but chose not to do so last season.
Impressive again once from Suresh. Nice little drop of the shoulder, just creating a little space for himself. As you said earlier, John, these young players from that India under-17 team, we've seen Apuya this season doing that, and now Suresh. They've grown in confidence. I mean, I've seen them playing at this for their respective youth teams, but now to see them now amongst the playing up against the likes of Mustafa Nying and Sidos, and still have the confidence to do this, it's really shown how they've grown as the season's progressed.
No foul there. Nearly looked as though he was a bit surprised to find himself sitting on his bottom. But no fault attached to the opponent. Well, they are enjoying good possession here. It's at the end of the day, but when you think about it, we've had a couple of efforts from Messi Bouli, so they are getting attempts in on goal. And Bengaluru don't normally allow the opposition to get too many. Well, there is Sido. He's having the ice pack attached already, as you can see, to the ankle. So it wasn't tactical, it was down to injury. Well, Ogbechi's in the hunt again for that golden boot. Krishna was magnificent the other evening for ATK with a hat-trick. Koro, of course, has matched him goal for goal during the season with Goa. And Valskis in his first season of football for Chennai, who we see tomorrow. But Ogbechi is certainly there, always capable. He's got a hat-trick, of course, this season here against Chennai. And he needs one more to match his tally of last season for North East. 24 goals in 2 seasons would be outstanding. Got to be a fraction long. Just able to take it down, Nishu Kumar. Impetus lost, but Pasilu will deliver. Well, skims off the turf, straight through to the goalkeeper. "28 minutes played, Kerala Blasters 0, Bengaluru 1. It's got a familiar ring to it, that scoreline, so far as these two sides are concerned.
Yeah, Ogbechi's had a quiet afternoon or evening so far, but that's such is the quality of the big man. He just, you don't notice him sometimes, but he pops up with those crucial goals.
And he might pop up with one now, except it's going to be a corner initially. Never got in as far as Ogbechi. So the Bengaluru defence doing its job once again.
And once again, who's it getting the blocks in? Suresh Wanjam.
Yeah, he got a good start to this game, hasn't he? One of the emerging young players of the season, without question. There's another one, Sahal. He's still only 22 as well, player born in the United Arab Emirates, but brought up here in India. Just inside the half hour. Cabra talking, organising, that's the experience of the man.
You'd expect Kerala to be a lot more of a threat from set pieces, because look at the players that they have, the likes of Ogbechi, Mustafa, Messi, Zoivelin.
Well, you've mentioned a few, and here is an Ogbechi header, but the ball will drift harmlessly wide of the uprights.
Not to mention, I think even Jobarov's popped up with a goal from a set piece this season, so...
Yes, he has.
You've got your hands full defending against these boys.
They allowed Ogbechi to go a little bit there as well. Just at the last moment he did get a challenge from Cabra. So half an hour played in the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, and it's Kerala Blasters 0, Bengaluru 1. That goal, by the way, Bengaluru's 20th of the season. They're not particularly prolific, are they? But they are masters defensively. This could go out for a corner, believe it or not. It was stabbed all the way down the line. It was almost like bowls had rolled all along the line and just right down to the corner flag. These are the statistics for Suresh Wangjam so far. Created a couple of chances, with one in particular, superb ball.
Not bad at all for the 1/3 of the game.
Part of a goalkeeper's trade is talking, and Bilal is doing exactly that there. You can't be quiet if you're a goalkeeper.
No, certainly not at this stadium as well, John. You've got to be really loud to make yourself heard. It's one of the noisiest stadiums in the ISL.
Almost 2/3 of Bengaluru's goals come from set pieces. They have one here for Dimas Delgado. Short delivery. Couldn't fool us all, but it could pay off even yet. Because there are bound to be a lot of white shirts around in this half. Although they seem very content to go all the way back to their own goalkeeper. That always looks a bit mystifying to me, when you've got the pressure on and you choose to go all the way back to your number one.
But you can afford to do it with 1-goal lead.
That was a bit close to Ogbechi.
It was very interesting. I listened to a podcast this week featuring Carlos Quidrat, speaking extensively about the set pieces and how and when they started with this, and he was talking about his days at Galatasaray assisting Frank Rijkaard, and how they started with this concept of creative set pieces and really well thought out set pieces. So a lot of their time in training does go into this. So,
well, here is one, and it was Nili who was on to the end of it. There again, they worked it out. It was because it was taken quickly. We saw last night a quick free kick unlocking the door led to the first goal of the night for the young Uruguayan, didn't it?
Absolutely, and it's almost, again, Carlos is talking about how it's like a chess game. I mean, maybe the previous corner kick, which went back to the goalkeeper, sometimes sets it up for something different now.
Saran's in the mix. Dimas with the take. Saran's not a regular goal scorer, but he does have one this season against North East. Former Swansea City player who also had a few years in Cyprus. Is he on the end of this? No. Nobody in white was on the end of it. But every outfield player is in the Kerala half. Partalu can't get a nudge on, so he might have to drop back now quite quickly because Ogbechi has it. Not able to advance too sharply though. That's a bit nondescript.
Still in play. And I think we all thought that was going out. Messi B was alert to that.
Well, it was like that first goal, well, the only goal so far. It took everybody a bit by surprise because it came so quickly. People often talk about long ball theories and all that, but it doesn't matter if it produces a goal. Does it matter whether it's a short or a long pass?
Fight between the two India internationals.
Yep, Alicia and Nazari just overdoing the challenge. And there is Udanta. He's only got the 1 goal this season, which was at Goa in October. Top man in terms of sprinting tonight is Nili. Well, I pinpointed him early when he raced back to help to concede a corner kick, but he's right up there along with Ruatara and Suresh, the youngster.
It's interesting to see those numbers there, John, because if you look at it, it's Nili and Ruatara, top 2, and they're playing against one another. So it obviously shows an area where one sprinted and the other one's had to, really stretch his legs to keep up with him. And the other next two was Suresh and Mustafa Agni, which is probably, again, that run into the box. So you can see how players are matching one another stride for stride almost.
Great ball out here, Nishu Kumar, they're dragging him back. That's got to be, that could, you see, that's the one where that will be a yellow card later in the game. It could be a yellow card now because it is a yellow card. So, correct from the referee. Doesn't matter when it is, it's how it is.
Absolutely. I mean, that's denying a promising move as they use it in refereeing parlance. had a great first touch. He's ahead of you. He's getting into the box. And again, from Kerala Blasters' point of view, these are the needless or avoidable set pieces.
Ruatara follows his compatriot, colleague, Messi Bulli into the referee's book. Quite right as well. He was on his way there, was Nishu Kumar.
Yeah, you just got to learn when to let go of the shirt and the arm on the shoulder. Started with it. If he'd just got his arm off of him, he might have got away with it, because I think Nishu was already losing a bit of balance. But you keep your arm up there, you make the referee's job very, very easy after that.
Well, he could be punished for the second goal here. It's 10 minutes to half-time. Bengaluru leading. We're more concerned about Nishu Kumar at the moment, though, because I think the way he's gone down is awkward. So he requires the attention of the man with the spray. Used to be a sponge in my day.
Yeah, he's holding that same part of his leg where Paul Macefield seems to be carrying an injury from that game. He could have done with some treatment that night.
Some people never learn. Kerala 0, Bengaluru 1 is the scoreline here. So Bengaluru plus 11 in terms of goal difference now. Look at the sweat coming out of the shirt of Patalu there. Perspiration, he'd probably call it. Like a bit sweat. Dimas with 5 set-piece assistants is in goals this season. As good as anybody. He and Patalu the top men in that category. Can they add to the 1 goal that they've scored already? It's into the right area, fisted away. Still a shot opportunity for Brown. The funny thing is, I think the only time we've mentioned Deshaun Brown tonight is when he scored. That was the second time that he had a shot there, but it was blocked. That can be it with the goal scorer, though, for the striker.
Yeah, it's like we've hardly noticed Ogbeche tonight. Messi is the one who's had more of the chances and probably the ones that we'll highlight at half-time. But Deshaun has the most important one that counts at the moment.
Nearly run out of it. Still on the young side, Nili. He'll be having a birthday next week. He'll be 26 on Tuesday. We're looking again at that Dimas free kick, fisted away by Bilal, who, as I said at the start, is continuing to keep out Rehenish. Rehenish not even in the squad.
Well, I think after the mistakes Rehenish has made this season, it's justifiable that the coaching staff have opted to take him out the firing line. But this is where youngsters like Bilal, you've got to grab that opportunity when you get it. And, for me, a low ball in like that with no players around him, you opting to punch it back into the danger area low, it could have taken a deflection of any of the bodies there. And when you get these opportunities, you have to do a lot better.
Zulun playing in a central midfield role at the moment. We've seen him play everywhere in the last few weeks. We've even seen him employed up in attack.
Yeah, it's a real little tactical battle going on where they've tried to match them in terms of formation, and now, as we're coming towards the end of the first half, pushing a few numbers forward, because I'm sure Elko would have seen the likes of Eric Parter here doing a really stellar job in dealing with Messi Bulli, so try and get a few more players up front.
Well, we enjoyed telling you how far people have run and how quickly they've run. Well, Nili has run further than anybody tonight at 4.3k, just ahead of Ruatara. As you pointed out, they are in direct opposition, Brad. So that tells you quite a lot. There's been a lot of action down that touchline. Well, I've said there's not many mentions for Deshaun Brown, apart from when he scored, but he'll certainly get a mention for this after the challenge with Zubaloon. That's hurt him.
That was a funny one. This is a not so funny one. The young lad, 2 Bengaluru players down. Suresh is catching. Probably a stray arm. Again, no malice in both of them. These are just honest challenges. 2 players going up for the ball. I don't think Zubaloon knew where his legs were going.
For those supporters, football fans listening around the world, Suresh is one of those who played in the Under-17 World Cup in 2017 for India, and it's lovely to see them coming on a pace. It's 2.5 years ago, really, is that tournament, but so many of them are playing regular first-team football now, which is encouraging, because boys do drop by the wayside. But not this one. This one, Naziri nudges it forward. Bengaluru have looked a little stronger in the last few minutes. Tomorrow, what a game. ATK and Chennaiyin. ATK, of course, are currently second in the table, 3 points behind FC Goa, but still with ambitions to finish right at the top of the table. And, well, Chennaiyin with 3 games to go and real prospects of making the last 4 after their remarkable recovery since Owen Coyle took over from John Gregory.
Yeah, with the result last night for Odisha, that puts a little bit of pressure now onto Chennai. Chennaiyin will have to get something out of that game against ATK. Obviously, they can afford not to and then win the remaining 2 games, but with it being a head-to-head against Mumbai, where Mumbai, I think, a draw would suit them, they really need to go and try and get maximum points against ATK, which makes it just a cracker of a game, especially the form that Valskis and Kriviaro are on and the way Roy Krishna's been playing.
Yeah, very
mouth-watering clash.
Mouth-watering. 4 minutes to go in the first half of this one. Through the eye of the needle, and Ogbechi will make something of it. Uses his strength, feeds the pass into the right full-back position. It's for Ogbechi, and we've seen him score so many times. Thought there might have been an offside flag there, but it's not. It's a corner kick. That would have been identical to a score of Ogbechi's recently, where he hit it on the swing. He's the one who initially plays the ball out wide, and then when it comes back in, look, he's so confident to having a hit from there.
But credit here to Rahul Beke. He's done fantastically well. He's not going to reach the ball, but he's made sure he's closed him down, blocked off that shot, because I think that probably was goal-bound.
Yeah, Rahul Beke, I'm used to seeing him in a right full-back position or a right midfield position. It's going to be a yellow card here.
If that's Dimas that's picked up the yellow card,
it looks like it.
I think he'll be missing the next game.
No, it's Brown.
Oh no, it's Brown for the. Has he got some shorts? He's got shorts on underneath, which are of a different colour.
Well spotted.
I mean, I completely agree with Carlos on this.
More of that in a moment. Let's just see what happens here with a long-range shot. Flies wide, but well, a chance. Kettler still trying to get back level after that opening goal from Deshaun Brown. And meeting this one on the left foot. It swirls away off the left boot of Jessel Carneiro.
No, so let's have a look at that shot flying wide. But apparently, we're hearing that Deshaun Brown's the one who's picked up a yellow card for coming back onto the field without the referee waving him on. So it wasn't for the colour of his shorts underneath.
That's Paul Macefield about that at half-time, about players coming back onto the field of play without a referee's permission. You'll have a bit to say about it. Chance here, the ball is good, he's onside, chance at 2-0 for Bengaluru. May have taken too long, and that is the opportunity. Udanta was on for a hat-trick of goals against this opposition. He was favourite just for about 2 seconds. Still get a second, they are still on the attack. But he didn't seem to have the self-belief there, to me, Udanta.
No, once again, I thought Bilal had made a hash of it by coming out and selling himself short. And Udanta had the opportunity to either go around him or just go past him. And I think he's caught in 2 minds. But this is the risk that Kerala is willing to take, playing that high line and with Udanta's pace. And the goalkeeper's in that position, just go past him and slot it home. Or take your shot early, and he's done neither.
It was a nice ball from Millie, wasn't it?
Very kind of sums up with Udanta's season.
Brown's on the gallop again, and he's going past the 2 defenders, and he's taking a tumble. Could have been no free kick. Could be interesting to have a look at. Brown is a handful, but he's on the charge like that, and he's more confident tonight than in previous games.
I think this kind of game suits him with his space to run in behind. It just suits his style of play a lot better.
Kettle will have 30 seconds left in this half to get this equalising goal, and it's not going to happen just yet. We're going to get to the 45-minute mark. I fancy it 1-0, but they're giving his everything here. There must be a couple of minutes to add on, I would imagine. Raju Gaikwad into the flank position. 2 or 3 across in the centre, but Dimas is the one who has come back to win the ball for Bengaluru, who look like taking a lead into the dressing rooms with 2 minutes of added time. Deshaun Brown's become a central figure in this game. Scored the only goal so far. Got himself a booking for coming back on without permission, and causing a bit of havoc as well. And that was the moment where Odanta might, with a bit more self-confidence, have given his side a big cushion. Zubaloon probing. Ogbechi taken down. Free kick here. Could be a sting in the tail of this half even yet. And it's going to be a booking. Ogbechi's a real handful, isn't he? He uses his body so well. And the referee's gone for the spray cam first of all. He's definitely got the yellow card there ready.
There's definitely a yellow card for Saran.
Saran, yeah, he's having to follow Saran. That's what's tickling me. Saran's determined to walk away and not give him eye contact. Typical defender's pose. Albert Saran is the second Bengaluru player booked in 5 minutes after Deshaun Brown. A coming together, I think you would call that. But we've still got time for the home side to strike an equalising goal here. In case you didn't know, these seconds are added on since the whistle was blown. There's the confirmation that Saran is in the book.
Well, we've seen one fantastic strike from Ogbechi from a free kick early on in the season.
Zubaloon says, get out of the way to Dancer. To Suresh. Amazes me. It takes an eternity to take a free kick like this. And there's a big discussion going on the touchline as well with the 4th official. Can Kerala add to that statistic? It would certainly set up the second half if they were to find a way of beating Gurpreet.
Absolutely, and touch to the side and a strike from Ogbechi. It looks all set up for that, so Bengaluru need a charger.
It is Ogbechi, it's in! He has beaten Gurpreet, and it's a fantastic strike from this man Ogbechi, who becomes the top goal scorer in Kerala history. His 12th goal of the season, and it was venomous.
Well, touch to the side and Ogbechi's strike. Everyone seems to know what's going to happen. And although Gurpreet was on that side, he should have had it covered, and we'll have another look, and I think this will have to go down as a goalkeeping error. It's no deflection, and that's poor goalkeeping. It's as simple as that. You expect a lot more from Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, and we've seen one goalkeeping howler on that end, and that is another one.
Ogbechi matches his 12-goal tally for North East United last season in the colours of the Kerala Blasters, and Gurpreet is furious with himself. We were discussing his merits before kick-off. And you're right, really. The ball hit the turf twice before it went beneath the goalkeeper's body.
If he doesn't dive and just stands up, I think he just clears that with his left foot.
Still a terrific hit. I'm taking nothing away from Ogbechi. It's given us a grandstand finish to the first.